So far what we did was we introduced some basic strikes. We started with the straight punches, the jab, and the cross. We worked on to the hook, and then we did the uppercuts. Now I'm going to introduce the elbow strike. When we talk about power generation, once again, we always return to first the side stance, the wheeling body, and the waist power. In other words, everything we do is hips and shoulders, hips and shoulders. So, as a really simple way of thinking about this, when I'm doing elbow strikes, my palm is down, my thumb is toward me. I always want to make sure that the elbow is at least the level of my chin or higher. I always assume I'm fighting somebody my own size. I don't want to elbow them in the shoulder, I want to elbow them in the face. If I come up like this, I'm going to be turning my hips and shoulders. So I'm turning in a side stance that looks like this. You'll see other places, other systems that do it like this. In a fighting stance, again, remember hips and shoulders, hips and shoulders. So if I was going to do my right elbow, I would pick it up. Again, thumb is toward me, palm is down my elbow. What I want to do is hit with the front part of the elbow. A lot of people kind of chicken wing it and hit with the soft part of the elbow. There is an elbow that does exist like this, but that's not an elbow strike, and we'll talk about that later in the grappling. But for basic striking, especially in the kickboxing range, I want to be hitting with the bony part of the elbow there. So I would pick it up. Right now I'm just focusing on this arm, I'm not focusing on this arm, and I would turn to bring it through. This is kind of a hooking motion in that it's parallel to the floor. Sometimes we call this a smashing elbow or a hook elbow. There's also an overhand elbow, which is like a cup choy coming in and down. For beginners, we're going to start off first with the hooking elbow, and then later, as they get used to that, they can come a little bit down. In a real fighting stance, what I would be doing, certainly I'd be blocking. Since the elbow is very close, think about how close the elbow is as opposed to a punch. Sometimes we prefer to actually put our other hand on top of our forehead as we throw the elbow. It covers us a little bit more than this. You can see my face now. Now you can't. So I have my right elbow. A left elbow is a lot like a hook. I pick up the elbow. But when I do a hook, I can do it with the palm down or the palm facing me. But always for the elbow, it's palm down, thumb toward me. I'm going to turn my hips and shoulders. Again, I'm going to try to block my face when I do that. So I pick up, I turn, and I block my face. I pick up, I turn, and I block my face. For tool development with the elbows, again, we start with a heavy bag. Just like with knees, we want to hit one spot. We don't want to hit and drag. So you have to make sure that you're avoiding the dragging, which is going to hurt you and tear the skin. It's a little bit different when we hit a human being, when we drag a sharp bony elbow across their flesh. But on a bag, we're going to work first with just the smash energy as opposed to the cutting energy, which is to pick up and hit one spot. So again, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. I want to make sure that my palm is down, my thumb is toward me, and the elbow is the level of my chin or higher. And as I hit, block my face. And I'm not dragging. So you have right elbow, left elbow. Right elbow, left elbow. Right elbow, left elbow. So of course we can start in isolation, just doing elbows by themselves. Another way I like to do it is to start off with a jab and then work our way into the elbow. This has a slight shuffle in to close the distance. So I jab from the outside, shuffle in. You'll notice this is sort of the typical boxing art, but I'm going to do again because it's an elbow, cover my head more. So I'm going to be jabbing, shuffling in, elbow. Jab, elbow. When you get comfortable with this, you can go jab, elbow, elbow. Jab, elbow, elbow. I can also go jab, cross, hook, elbow. Jab, cross, hook, elbow. Jab, cross, hook, elbow. I can also go jab, cross, lead elbow, rear elbow. Replacing the hook with the left hook elbow, right hook elbow. Jab, cross, elbow, elbow. These are good ways to introduce the elbow strength.